Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. We have a one-shot scenario for you entitled, What's in the Cellar? It was written by John Hook, and Jeff Wilkins will be our GM. Hopefully it's just wine in the cellar, but we'll see. Let's begin our journey into the darkness. Jeff?
All right. Thanks, Tom. All right, we're going to start. We've already just spent a little bit of time. Everyone just chose their characters. These are all pre-gens. So let me just do a quick little recap. I'm not going to... Well, okay. So we're going to have Ken is going to be playing an author. Ford is going to be playing an architect. Wayne's going to be playing a psychologist. And Tom's going to be a private detective. All right. You know what? Let's do that. I sent you each quick, one or two paragraphs. It gives you like a suggested motivation for your character and a little bit of a background. So why don't you can either just read that directly if you want, or just use that as a seed and just expand on it however you want to expand on it. So let's introduce your characters that way. Be aware of your stats too. So like if your size is like a 70, decide, if you want to be really tall or a little bit on the heavier side. So let's do, Tom, why don't you start us off?
All right. Well, my name is Sal Rumberger. I'm a private investigator working out of New York. I work for the offices of Joseph Klein, and I have been hired to investigate the innocence of a certain individual. And I'm not personally involved, so I could care less one way or the other. If I can find out that he's innocent, that's good. That's what I want to do. If I can't, at least I'm going to do my job, because I always do my job as well as I can possibly do it. That's it. Hey, you go next.
Let's go with, how about Ken? Do you want to do?
Okay. My name's Jeffrey Clarke, and I'm an author of unexplained mysteries and books on the occult. As it happens, I'm a relative of Arthur Blackwood, and one of the reasons I'm here is I want to prove that Arthur is innocent. In fact, he asked me to help with that because he knows of my interest in mystery and my writing about mystery. So I'm really intrigued about what the murder of Rose Blackwood. And if Arthur didn't do it, who did? That's me.
And
Okay.
who do we have left? Ford, did you do yours?
No, not yet. I'm Ford. I'm playing Eric Hughes. He's an architect, about middle-aged. Recently just started up his own little firm after working about 10 years with the Shandor architecture company in New York. A friend of the Blackwood family. And I'm helping out with the situation with looking into this case of Mrs. Blackwood being murdered, and trying to help out my friend here. And it's just a horrific situation, and I just want to make sure that he has his name cleared, because he'd never do something like this. Something's going on, and I want to be there for my friend on this.
Perfect. And last but not least, Mr. Wayne.
All right, I am playing Dr. Robert Gray Pennyworth, and I've been hired by the law offices of Joseph Klein. I'm there to assist in proving the innocence of Arthur Blackwood. I'm particularly intrigued by the case. There is something that strikes similarity or some familiarity to the Blackwood name. I remember my grandmother mentioning the Blackwoods, but For some reason, I can't quite remember what that entails. Like, I have no idea currently what she was talking about when it came to the Blackwoods. So right now I'm here helping to prove the innocence of Arthur. Hopefully he is found innocent, because that's what I'm hired to do.
Perfect. All right, so we are starting. Today is Saturday, March 2nd, 1929. And it is actually 8 months after Arthur Blackwood was arrested for murder of his wife. As you enter the law office of Joseph Klein, you look upon a breathtaking view of New York's skyline. Klein bids you all welcome and gestures for you all to take a seat. Gentlemen, come in, sit down. We have a little heavy subject to talk about, but I hope things will start to become clear to you, at least clear as possible. This is some strange situations here going on. Sitting on Klein's desk is a large box with a pair of strange wheels and a row of buttons on its face. Klein says, "Thank you for coming," and as he shakes your hands, he says, "As you're all aware, Arthur Blackwood is facing the electric chair. I'm trying to negotiate a lifetime prison sentence, but the outlook is bleak." Klein places a hand on the strange box on his desk and he says, "This is a magnetic voice recorder. I use it to record conversations with defendants so that you can hear their exact statements in their own words. These are brand new to the company and the company that makes them is a client of ours. So we got access to this prototype." So Klein reaches over, he presses a button and says, "Arthur has a message for you." The wheels begin to turn around, the tape starts to spin through, and you can hear Arthur's scratchy voice emanating from the box. "Cousin, please, you must help me. I can't explain it. I never believed in the stories, for they were too fantastic to be real. But the Blackwood family line is both blessed and cursed. A genie lives in the cellar of the family cabin, but to control it, you must find my ring. I dropped it, I think, in the cellar. Please find my ring and prove to the police that the genie exists. Please, I implore you, find my ring, for it is the only thing that can prove my innocence." And then the tape ends.
A genie? Are we seriously investigating a genie?
Well, Arthur's mental state has been
Yeah, I get it.
not so much. I mean,
The guy's a loon.
he will
That's not proper.
No, he's always been a level-headed gentleman. Although I'm beginning to question here this whole genie business. Something must have happened to him, and to shake him up. And since he is a little shaken, perceptions could be different.
I ain't a psychologist like the good doctor here, but I imagine if his wife died, he might be grief-stricken, or I don't know if that sort of thing makes any sense.
Yes, there's a little bit more information, so let me get to that. Klein, well, first of all, Klein will also tell you that Arthur was his law partner. So they are friends and coworkers too.
Blackwood's a lawyer.
Yes. So Klein opens a manila folder and he shows you a photograph of the cellar beneath the Blackwood cabin. The photograph shows dark earthen walls lined with shelves and a white floor of crushed shells and gravel. A large amount of blood is splashed and splattered across the floor.
Oh.
As you can see, there's no such thing as a genie, Klein says. Poor Arthur has been under incredible stress. He eventually snapped and butchered his wife. Klein then gives you a key to the cabin and a letter granting you access to the property. Should the local authorities want to know why you all are there. It's only because I still love and respect Arthur that I'm even entertaining his request to have you all search the cellar for anything that may clear his name. I have another piece to show you. This was a newspaper clipping from right around the time that this happened.
Well, I mean, even you've said that he did it. You think that, let's hope that we can find some evidence, but Grisly Whitehall murder. Prominent New York attorney Arthur Blackwood was arrested yesterday and charged with the murder of his wife, Rosemary. Mr. Blackwood was discovered wandering the countryside near his family's vacation cabin, located in Whitehall, New York. It is reported that Mr. Blackwood was disoriented and covered in blood. On arrival, the local sheriff discovered evidence of the heinous murder of Mrs. Blackwood, despite the disappearance of Mrs. Blackwood's body. When questioned about his wife's whereabouts, Mr. Blackwood was unable to respond. So we don't actually have any solid evidence that he murdered her, just that he was witness to something that has cracked his noodle.
Yeah, that's true. Although all the evidence basically is pointing at him. It's just that we don't have a body.
So
I mean, he was covered in blood, so it's yeah.
And she's missing, obviously.
Yes.
Well, yeah, let's see what we can find.
He's obviously been traumatized.
I mean, the fact is that if we can find evidence that other people were there, then at least he can't be found guilty. There's a reasonable doubt. And that would at the very least, it would get him life in prison, not the electric chair.
Yes, I'm afraid the outlook isn't all that great. I mean, I don't expect you guys to solve the case, but I'm just hoping that maybe you could find something that will cast doubt in the jury's eyes, and we can at least prevent him from being put to death.
Well, what's our timetable?
Today is Saturday. It's kind of a long drive. I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but it's up around, I believe it's up around Lake George area. So it's kind of further up. It's almost up into Vermont.
Oh,
you're almost on the border of New York and Vermont. So it's probably going to take you most of the day to drive there and get there. There's probably a little bed and breakfast you could stay at, and we really don't need to be bogged down with like travel time and who's driving and all that. What I would like to give you, though, is just an opportunity to, if there's anything, I realize your character sheets don't have like a lot of, what you guys have as far as equipment or anything. Mm-hmm. So if there's anything like specific you want to mention that like I really would want to bring such and such, we can talk about that now.
Well, obviously I've got detective stuff.
Okay.
And a flashlight and a gun, obviously. But actually what my question was, is there a deadline before they execute him? Do we have a day, question. A week, a month?
The murder trial begins March 18th, so approximately 2 weeks or so, a little over 2 weeks.
Okay, well, that should be plenty.
Yeah.
It's just a cellar.
Yeah. Now, the police and everybody, they've already, obtained whatever they need. So, it's not like you need to worry about disturbing the scene or anything like that. I mean, everything has been cataloged and documented in that sense. So basically just go in and look around and see what you can find. And hopefully be Arthur's good luck.
Cool. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get out there.
I'm getting all my my outdoor walking equipment, my coat, my stuff. Also taking a flashlight. Take along one of my walking sticks, my good solid walking sticks with me, and some extra batteries just in case.
Now, Mr. Hughes, you're related?
I'm an old friend of the family and of
yes,
I'm
I'm
Blackwells
related.
and stuff.
Yes, I'm related myself. So I will also be taking my classy walking stick with the wolf head on it in case we encounter any ruffians, give them a good belt. But my notepad and a camera, if I would have that, perhaps.
Yeah, that would be reasonable.
Well, we want to. If we're going to collect evidence, we might need to take photographs. So
Yes.
yes, please.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm also going to go ahead and bring some basic architect's gear along with my notepad as well, so that I can maybe take some cursory surveys of the cabin and stuff. I've probably been to the cabin before, as over weekend types thing with the family, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But just to have things that I can write down to collaborate with what the police have found and such.
Yeah.
And a doctor, you're both a medical doctor and a shrink, right?
I'm just a psychologist, not a medical.
So you don't have medical. Okay. Well, I was going to see.
I know a bit of medicine, but it's not proper for me to claim to be a physician.
Well, I was just wondering if we had anybody on our team that would be able to do, chemical tests and stuff like that on blood or whatever we found.
Not that. No, nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Well, we'll have to get those kind of things looked at by the university or something.
Yeah.
I can do a little bit of first aid.
Huh. I don't think you'll be able to put her back together.
Well.
All right.
Well, folks, let's go.
Just to clarify for my own sake, a walking stick. When you say walking stick, is that like a Gandalf cane, or is that like an actual gentleman's walking cane?
Like a gentleman's walking cane, maybe a little bit tougher for going out in the woods and stuff, as opposed to walking down the street.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't need a cane.
More of like where you be going across the British countryside there, as opposed to down to the pub.
Believe me, if a bear sees me, I can scare him away with this mug.
Indeed.
All right, so we'll say that the drive there was uneventful. You arrived Saturday evening. You had time to find a place to stay. You got yourself food and dinner, and you're all set. And your plan is you're going to probably hit the Blackwood house on Sunday morning. There's talk of a storm coming in, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be a big deal. It's just going to be rainy. Why don't we start as you guys you get in the car and you head over to the house. It's kind of secluded. It would be considered a like a colonial, I guess you would call it like a vacation house almost. So not necessarily too fancy or anything, just bare bones, just a way for people to escape and get out into the country. It's got a nice view of a stream or a creek nearby.
1 story, 2 story?
Yeah, 1 story. Yeah, and relatively nondescript.
Is there like an outhouse, or can we hope that there's a toilet inside the house?
Yes, we'll say there's no house.
Ah, shit. Literally.
That's not so bad. They put a heating system in there 2 years ago, so it's rather comfortable.
Okay.
So you guys already were given the key. You can enter the house with no problem. Anything in particular you guys want to do when you first get there?
Well, I'd have a look around the property. Is it a large property? Is there a fence, or is there
relatively small, I guess? Like I said, it's kind of like a vacation house. So it's not that big of an area. You're kind of secluded, so you can't see any other houses nearby. Kind of wooded.
Big trees near the house?
Yeah.
Shading the house?
Yep.
Is there a porch swing?
Yeah, probably.
Right. Is there like when you step up onto a wooden porch and then the cabin door?
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like it's in good repair?
Yeah, relatively very well upkept. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Hughes, you've been here before, you said?
Yes, a couple times. Gatherings of family and friends.
Oh, why don't you lead the way?
All right. Kind of go up to there and have a look at the front and just the general layout. See anything right offhand strikes me as being out of place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there'll be some evidence that the police were there, but otherwise, kind of just see what's there and kind of collate the info.
Yeah.
I remember being at a family get together some time ago. So again, I would be probably doing something similar. Is there anything different looking than I can remember?
Yeah, exactly. You guys make your way inside and you start doing just some cursory looking around, and everything seems to be in place. It doesn't look like there's been, there's no signs of struggle or anything like that. Everything's nice and neat. Everything's clean. It has been about 8 months, so there is a little bit of a stench in the air that maybe they didn't quite clean it the way they. Well, I don't know if they would have cleaned it at all, if that makes any sense.
How about dust?
Yeah, I mean, just what you would expect in 8 months' time. So nothing.
Does it look like anybody's disturbed the dust in the last 8 months?
No, not really. Not really. No.
Looks like a nice cabin.
Yeah.
I want to kind of
Yeah, go ahead.
take note of any kind of pictures. Everything's in its place. It's not like there's anything being removed from the walls or anything like that.
Yeah, correct.
Is there like a writing desk? Like a nice little room where you might sit down and perhaps write in a journal or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a lawyer himself, so he's probably got a small den or like a small library that he would retire to and probably write his notes. And
yeah, I'm gonna have a look in that room.
Sure.
Are there fireplaces?
There's a fireplace, small fireplace in the main parlor. I guess when I say parlor, I mean like living room, I guess.
Because I'm a private investigator, the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of walk over there and see what sort of debris is in the fireplace. I'm not going to sift through it unless it looks like there's something there.
Yep. Nothing that you would not expect to find. So probably some ashes from the wintertime. You check his den in his area, and again, nothing necessarily seems out of place. It's just everything that you would expect to find in a lawyer's den. Nothing
I guess
unusual, no strange books, nothing like that.
I guess the thing we came here to see is that basement.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go see what's in the cellar.
Do Jeffrey or Eric, do either of you remember where the entrance is to the basement?
Jeffrey probably knows more than I do. I think it may have been pointed out, but I've never been in the basement.
Yeah, I've never been in the basement, but if it's fairly obvious, I guess I would know where it is.
Why don't you do an idea roll?
Yeah, success.
Yeah, so you remember that you like you said, you've probably never been down there, but you've been shown there's a little trap door actually in the parlor. It's under a little small throw rug. And the rug's not meant to conceal it, to hide it. It's just meant to, it's a parlor. They want it to look nice, so they just throw the rug over it to cover the trap door.
Okay, well, everybody, the entrance is over here into the cellar. Maybe the detective wants to come and take a look as we get down there.
Are there stairs going down, or is it a ladder?
Yeah, so you lift the lid. There's kind of a heavy lid to the floor area. And when you it's on a hinge, so when you lift it up, you got to kind of like prop it open with a little stick that kind of folds up. And there is a metal like ladder, almost like bolted to the wall, that leads down into the basement.
Oh, what in the hell? This. Well, people out here just don't know how to build proper cellars, I guess. That's kind of crazy. Oh well.
Not too crazy. It's a little uncommon. Usually people do stairs, but ladders are cheaper. And so it's just cutting some costs here.
Well, let's, if you don't mind, And I sort of pull out my flashlight, and I shine it down there really quick, and then I start down the ladder.
As an architect, can you give me an idea roll, please, Eric?
Yes. So trying to find the idea on the sheet here.
It's the same as intelligence.
Oh, okay, no problem. Wow, odd one.
Okay.
I've got a clue.
Absolutely. I was just looking for you not to fail. That's all. Yeah. So basically, I just wanted to let you know that from your experience, and even Jeffrey, from your what you've been told about the house history, you know this house was built a long time ago. This was probably built in the 1700s.
Wow.
All right. So
do I remember any of the kind of history to that? Is there some story behind the original build that I would recall?
You probably will remember that it was built by one of your great grandfathers, and it's just been the house itself has stayed in the family all this time.
Okay.
So Arthur's the last one to have access to it.
Good solid construction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So when you lift the lid, you got your flashlights out. It is dark down there, definitely. There's no windows going to the outside. Okay. And when you shine your light down, the first thing you notice is that everything's kind of white, especially the floor. The floor is a little unusual because it's made of gravel and crushed shells, like clam shells.
Yeah. It's not that unusual.
Yeah. Yeah. The description from before, it's got like earthen walls. Everything seems solid and it's got that musty smell to it. And there's also that hint that, Rose passed away here, and it was a bloody mess. So,
well, we don't know that she passed away here.
Yeah,
there was blood.
So there's that coppery smell of blood.
Yes.
Now, when you say everything is white, you say they're earthen walls? They like whitewashed?
Yes, and there's a lot of shelves, and there's a lot of junk and stuff.
Okay.
So the basement is messy. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
So I go down the ladder carefully, keeping my hands holding on. It's a little tricky with the flashlight, but just going to the bottom of the stairs and stepping off.
Mm-hmm.
And then shining my light around. There's lots of junk down here.
Mm.
Well, we just follow on.
Yeah. Just careful.
While everybody's going down, I'm going to take a quick cursory look at the just throughout the house and poke my eyes out to the windows and just make sure nobody's kind of coming up there. Not that I'm expecting anybody, but there's a lot of mysterious circumstances going on, and it's better safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's no problem. You guys are pretty remote, so you don't, like you said, you're not expecting to see anybody, and when you kind of look around, you're out in the middle of nowhere pretty much.
Okay. All right. I'll be the last one down. Okay.
So as they're coming down the ladder, mm-hmm. I just sort of shine my light around to see if I can see the place where there was blood on the floor.
Yeah. When you do that, you notice there is none.
So it's been cleaned up. That's my assumption.
Now, why don't you do a spot hidden for me?
And actually, that's kind of unusual because if it's got crushed gravel and shells, then how do you clean it up?
It'd be stained. This is weird.
I got a lovely 99. I'm a PI, and I got a 99 on a spot hidden. Nope,
I got a success here if we're allowed.
All right. I keep getting mixed up between Arthur and the fact that you're an author. My brain is like, I keep wanting to call you author, but you're not. Your name is Jeffrey. finding. All right, Jeffrey. Yes, as you all have flashlights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. As you each are kind of individually now, you've climbed down the ladder. You're kind of shining your lights around, getting your bearings, and you happen to notice that there are blood splatters on the walls and the ceiling. It's just that the floor's clean.
So,
This is
gentlemen,
weird.
Can we kind of assume then that the floor has been replaced? That they scooped up all of the material that had blood all over it and threw it out and put some fresh crushed clamshells and gravel?
No, the police wouldn't do this. I mean, they just take care of everything and leave
Well,
it.
is there somebody who takes care of the house, like a
But if that's the
housekeeper or
case,
groundskeeper?
Jeffrey,
that was
are you familiar with anybody that comes out here?
I don't think so.
Because somebody obviously
Yeah, I'm
cleaned it
not.
up.
Arthur's usually the one who's, as I recall, who is here the most. And
Yeah.
Well, I think that there's something they couldn't. Let's see. Are there any kind of like shovels or rakes or anything down here in the?
Yes.
I'm going to grab like if there's let's say like there's a flat-ended shovel,
Mhm.
and I'm going to take it and I'm going to scrape away the gravel from the hard pan that's underneath it, the hard pan earth, and see if there's stains there.
Okay.
That would have soaked in.
Yep.
That you couldn't replace.
Okay. Robert or Dr. Pennyworth, were you saying something? I didn't.
I was going to say, if somebody came down here to clean up, why didn't they clean up the walls or the ceiling?
Well, that would be a little harder to do. You'd have to scrub that off. In this case, you just just shovel gravel into a bin and then
Yes,
throw
but
it
if
away.
Yeah, but if they're going through the trouble to at least clean the floor up within 8 months or so, they would have at least cleaned everything else up.
Maybe. It's obviously a mess down here. There's probably dust on everything.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a coating of dust on everything.
yes, but that would suggest that one of the family came down in here to do the cleanup.
Possibly. Nobody wants a big gigantic blood stain on the floor.
Yeah. Anybody know who's going to be in charge of the house now that Arthur's in jail and
I don't think the lawyers have figured that out yet, but the way it stands right now, it may actually go to Jeffrey.
Oh. Does Arthur have any siblings?
No.
No
No
siblings.
siblings and no children.
As the private detective is scraping up the shells and the gravel, I'm shining my torch there. Is there anything coming through underneath?
Any stains
She's
on the
digging.
You start to use the shovel. You start pushing the shells and gravel aside. And you're finding that the gravel and so forth goes down a good 6 to 8 inches or so.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's not just a light coating. This is actually like quite a bit.
almost centuries of floor being put in.
Yeah, they just keep adding stuff to it, but we don't see any evidence of any stains.
No, when you clear away a section of the floor, you find a limestone floor, which is also fairly light in color.
Someone has come in here and replaced this floor for some reason. Now, if it was my house, it would be me because I don't want blood on the floor, but we'll keep that in the back of our mind. And I'm going to sort of look around. Is there anything of the junk that's down here?
There's lots of junk, lots of what I would just call basement stuff. So, like you said, you already found a shovel. There's gardening tools. There's boxes on the shelves. Would probably take you days to go through all the boxes, but you might want to poke around and look in some of the boxes, see what you can find.
Do we know if there's a murder weapon? Or do we know what the murder weapon is?
Nobody has ever brought that up.
Well, now I look at the tools that I'm actually using. Any evidence that there's...
Well, you pulled it off of the wall, and as I mentioned, there were splatters on the wall and such, so you might see some blood on the shovel.
All right. Any, like, well, I'm looking at the handle of the shovel to see if, like, there's a handprint in blood or a stain. Maybe even knuckle prints on the wall where, you know, the person reached out and grabbed it.
Yes. Why don't you do a spot hidden for me?
Okay. Come on, 99. 84. I am a lousy detective.
You don't really see
I've got a
anything what you're
sharp
looking
eye.
for.
I've got a sharp eye detective if you need a hand.
I need a sharp eye, not a hand. I don't know. I don't see anything.
So, you know, fairly simple layout, actually. You know, you guys came down the ladder. You got the shelves all over the place, on all the walls, pretty much. I just wanted to give you a sense of what you're kind of like standing in. It's basically the L shape.
And
We're
so
kind of-
the blood splatter was on what wall? Does it matter?
Well, from the pictures and all that you've seen before, the blood was almost everywhere. So as you're looking around the walls and such, it's almost like there's splatter a lot. There's a lot of it.
I asked Sal, have you ever seen anything like this in terms of a murder where there's nothing on the floor, but it's all over the walls and the ceiling?
Well, I guess to answer that, I'll ask the GM a question. I'll form it in the game. Do you think maybe, considering that we've now just discovered that this floor is actually pretty deep as far as gravel goes, that the police could have assumed that maybe he buried the body in under the gravel, and so they cleared out the gravel, but they wouldn't have replaced it? That doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It's bizarre.
Why don't you all do a sanity roll? Seems to be troubling you all.
93. What is with my dice tonight?
20-point sanity loss right off the bat.
Oh no.
No, we'll just do a 1 and a 2. So if you fail for 2, a pass will be 1. It's just enough to, like you said, it's unnerving.
I passed.
Okay, yep, just 1 point.
Well, I'm going to, in general, wander about the empty space in the middle, down the L, and still looking at the floor to see if there's any evidence that there's blood on the floor.
Yeah, as you continue to look, it's clean.
I'm
I'm going to be looking.
Like if the shelves come down to the ground, I'm even going to look like under the shelves to see if some blood splattered or
Yeah.
pretty much clean.
You're probably going to have to get on your hands and knees to do that, I would imagine.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, once you do that, again, it looks clean.
While he's doing that, I'm going to go and flash my light in the kind of underneath structure of the basement. Check it out, see if anything's like in the in between the footings and those areas and stuff. See if anything stashed up along there. Any further evidence of blood on the ceiling or the structure.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you all? So you're basically all in search mode right now. So why don't you all give me some spot hidden rolls?
Okay.
a
Finally.
0-3.
I got 6.
Wow.
I got a 3.
Got 18 out of 40.
Wow.
So I got beat by the author.
I'm a writer of mysteries.
Dr. Pennyworth, how about, did you pass?
You're muted.
He's muted.
I'm sorry. I was eating pretzels over here, hard pretzels. So I
Oh.
didn't show up on the thing. Yeah, I got a 23 out of 50.
23, pass again. Nice. That's all good rolls. All right. I got a list here. I'm going to read off some of the things you notice. Especially with your 03, you notice up, not necessarily hidden, it was just sort of tucked away in the rafters. It was up on the rafters to the floor. There's an old cavalry saber.
Cavalry saber. Yeah.
Cavalry.
It's a hard one.
I'm saying, hey guys, check this. And I get the camera out and I start setting it up so that I can take a picture. Fix on the flash.
Now be aware. Yeah, be aware you're down in the basement where there's no lights except your flashlights.
Right.
Yeah.
So pictures are going to be difficult, but I mean, you can still try it and set it just for a long exposure. And as long as you hold the camera steady or put it on put it on the table or a tripod, you should be fine.
Would we have the old school flash back then?
I actually tried to look that up and I couldn't find a clear answer. So why don't you do a luck roll on that?
Actually, we never bothered to look. Is there maybe a light bulb hanging down?
There's not.
Yeah, I made a luck roll just by 3.
All right, so we'll say you have some sort of a flash equipment. I mean, they always had the flash powder, but I didn't get too far into the weeds. Like there were some rudimentary style flash bulbs.
We'll say I've maybe got enough powder for 2 shots or something like that. So I take one of the saber.
Sure.
A couple years out before we get reliable flash bulbs.
Yeah.
Well, that's just somebody's grandfather's Civil War saber, probably. The kind of stuff you'd find down here.
Does it look like any blood traces on it or around it?
No, as a matter of fact, it was all covered with dust and everything too, so it wasn't like it was used as a murder weapon. In addition to that, you find there's a heavy wrench, there's a small dagger, nothing unusual about it, it's just that it's a dagger. There's a trowel, like a cement trowel, and then there's a few other tools, like there's a hammer, there's an old baseball bat in the corner, there's the shovel, you already found that, the hoe, there's a hoe, gardening hoe. There's 3 pairs of leather gloves, and let's see, why don't y'all do another spot hidden roll?
Uh, 27.
Hot 3.
I failed. I'm busy with the camera.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Mr. Blackwood in the cellar with the dagger. It sounds like Clue.
I'm disappointed there wasn't a rope or a candlestick.
Yeah, exactly.
Who got the 03?
I did.
You find an old box that kind of catches your eye.
What's this?
And who got the 20? Was there a 26? I thought I heard
27. I got that.
I had a 26.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I thought. He beat out the private investigator again.
Yeah, I'm a lousy private investigator.
So, Dr. Pennyworth, you find a series of books up on one of the shelves.
Okay. And what kind of books?
Yeah. Yeah, you pull them down, and they're a lot of like they're actually like scrapbooks. So there's like
newspaper clippings.
Yeah, newspaper clippings, some birth and death notices, things from the family, stuff like that.
Anything strange?
Why don't you do can you do a library roll for me?
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not that character. So. should have a decent library roll. All right. Oh my goodness. Today is the day of good rolls. I got an 03.
Oh, wow. That's like our third 03.
Yeah, like in a row. Except for me.
First, before I get into that, something you guys notice, the temperature in here just dropped about 10 to 15 degrees.
Hmm.
It
Wow.
was noticeable. It was noticeable.
You
Did
guys
it-
notice that?
Did it just suddenly drop, or when we got down here, was it like 10 or 15 degrees cooler?
Yeah, you didn't necessarily notice it, but now it's like it's noticeable. So maybe you just were excited to get down here
Yeah.
and look around, but
Maybe it's getting to us. It's just the cold.
Yep.
Hmm.
We were excited. I would like to sort of have my flashlight shining around. I'm looking to see if I see a ring. As I recall, he said he dropped a ring down here.
sure.
Hopefully, it'll glint in the light, or
Okay. Let me come back to that.
okay.
And the scrapbook, there's a couple things that you're going to notice. First of all, there's a newspaper clipping from 1799. And it just goes, I'm just going to give you the headline. We don't have any detailed information on it, but there's a newspaper clipping. It says, "Fire devastates Valley." You find another one that's dated 1837, and it says, "Influenza count rises." Then there's a third one dated 1858. It talks about the Medowee flood waters. And Jeffrey, you would probably know that the Medowee River is not too far away. And then there's a fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, fourth one. 1881, where it talks about a Washington County drought. And then there's one more that is from 1901 that talks about a local man being struck by lightning. As you're kind of skimming that one over, you realize that the local man that they're talking about is actually Arthur.
So Arthur was struck by lightning.
Yep.
Now,
Well,
was this a story he would have told the family, or is it something he's kept secret?
That's a good question. I would think the family knows about this. Probably can't shut him up about it.
Okay.
The fact that he walked away unharmed and, it was a miracle. And
well, that could
I remember
actually
telling me
help.
about that.
That could actually help in his case if he's been struck by lightning. We don't know what sort of neurological effects that might have long term. So that might just get him, regardless of the outcome here, that might just get him off with life in prison. So what I'll do is I'll take that particular newspaper clipping and I'll put that in my pocket.
okay, sure. Sal, can you give me a listen roll?
Me?
Sal.
Oh,
Yeah. I got a 13. My lucky number. What is my listen? No, it's 40, so I got better than half.
You hear something over in the corner. Not quite sure what it is.
I wander in that direction.
And as you take a step forward, all of a sudden a can of like washers and nuts and bolts comes flying directly towards your head.
Oh, I'm going to try to dodge.
That's a good idea.
Whoa!
I got a 25 out of 40, so yes.
Okay.
I dodged.
So-
What the fuck?
Yep. Just right out of nowhere, just bang, and then it hits the wall. Everything clatters and clashes to the ground.
I am going to assume that there is somebody hiding over there, and I'm going to pull my gun, and I'm like, come out from wherever you are.
From shining my light in that direction.
Yeah, so am I.
Boys, there's somebody down here with us.
Yeah, you guys all shine your lights over. You got your gun drawn, and there's nothing there. It looks like
I move over carefully, but I'm looking to see if there's anything. What the fuck?
And let's do a sanity roll for that.
81.
I didn't make it.
Nor did I.
That was just too freaky. Guys, there's nobody else in here. What the heck was that?
I got a 19, so I made it.
What's the damage?
We'll say 2 for pass and a D4 for a fail.
4.
2.
I passed 2.
What the hell is going on down here? Is there some kind of freaking ghost or something? Things don't just launch off the shelf at you.
Maybe it's a genie.
Oh, of course. Don't be stupid. There's no such thing as genies.
But there's a such thing as ghosts.
Well, okay.
I'm gonna wander over there and see if there's anything that looks like may have dropped and launched the thing over. Yeah.
Like a spring-loaded something, a trap. Somebody set a trap for us.
No, more like something was not positioned properly on the shelf and it fell over and it launched it. See if there's a rational explanation on that.
Yeah, you start poking around over there, and nothing seems to make sense why that would happen. That's very unusual.
That was not right, guys.
Well, my eyes are wide open now, and I'm
shaking a little.
Well, I say, gentlemen, in all my research in the occult and mysteries, this looks like a poltergeist.
It's something.
A what?
A poltergeist.
Sounds German.
Yeah, they traveled over to the States a long time ago.
So there's German ghosts down here. Great. Great.
Give a great.
There's
some feel pissed off with us.
There's something been kind of bugging my noodle as I've been thinking about the blood on the walls, and I'm thinking about the mysteries and the stories that I've written. Does it look like the blood has been put there or plastered there, or is it an actual splatter?
It's definitely a splatter.
Okay. So I say to the guys, if that can explode off a shelf, perhaps something can explode a body against the wall. There's something strange going on here.
Yeah, but that's right. But how are we going to prove this? I mean, we've seen this.
It's not an argument you can use in a court of law.
Exactly.
A ghost killed the old woman.
Could there maybe need to check the walls? The architect obviously has some experience, hollow walls and things like that.
Yeah. I'll have a look there.
There's got to be some sort of trick to this. What's going on here?
What I do is I shine my light down. I guess the walkway that Sal just walked through to see if there was any sort of tripwire or anything set up like that.
Yeah,
that he might have triggered. Or maybe a pressure plate or something.
I'm now looking for traps. I'm very carefully going, especially over in that corner where that can was.
Be my guest. I had a look. I didn't see anything.
Do an idea, Dr. Pennyworth. Something you said there.
21.
Nice. You mentioned pressure point or like a trap kind of thing.
Yeah.
You would remember or realize that as you're looking down that the gravel is on top. So if there were something to trigger that, it would probably be underneath the gravel.
Well, let's. I look to the detective and I say, let's see if we can maybe move some of this gravel aside to see if there's anything underneath.
Well, be my guest. The rake is there. The shovel's there.
All right. Well, I'll start doing it.
Okay.
Right. So I'm looking over where I'm looking.
What were you looking for exactly?
A trap, a trick. I'm actually looking up underneath the shelf to see if there's some little cap or something that went off and launched that thing at me. Or
do a spot hidden.
There's got to be a logical explanation.
While they're doing that, I'm going to look around the base of the ladder really quick, see if anything's going on there. I'm looking up top, making sure everything's copacetic. I can. The lid's not going to come down on us.
Yeah.
I once again did not pass. I missed it by 10.
Luck points?
No.
Okay.
Hey, you spend them when you have them.
And don't forget we also have pushed rolls. I don't think anyone in our group has ever done a pushed roll.
I'm not sure anybody in the nature of the game, nobody ever does it.
Yeah, you don't like the consequences of that.
Yeah, so you check the trapdoor. It looks fine. I mean, it is being propped open, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of sticking in the back of your head, but it looks fine.
Okay.
I will remind you that just before all that happened, you had found a box that caught your eye.
Mm-hmm. Let's go for that box.
Yeah. Sal, as you're poking around, you're still convinced there's some sort of a trap or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it came from.
Some spring-loaded something or other.
Yeah, you're not really finding anything, but as you're poking around, you kind of get a whiff of smells like sulfur, like foul, rotten eggs.
Brimstone?
Did somebody fart?
It smells worse than that.
Oof, what is that?
It's brimstone.
I don't know. I'm looking now if there's chemicals or something.
Yeah, nothing like that. Nothing that would cause the chemicals.
Is it like can I like echolocate closer, farther away?
So you're gonna stand up. You're gonna just take a break.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can locate it. I'm an investigator.
Yeah. Yeah. You start sniffing the air. You're trying to pinpoint it, and nothing's like. You think it's over here, and then no.
Okay. Doesn't smell like natural gas though. Like the place could blow.
No. Well, I guess maybe it could. I mean, sulfur, but no, natural gas doesn't have a smell, right?
Yeah. Well,
it's not like
I don't know if they've added butyl mercaptan to it.
Yeah, they add smell to the natural gas, and
yeah,
this is so old. I don't think this is even gas driven. I think the heat comes from the fireplace.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that there can't be a sulfur pocket that's coming up through the floor, because geology of this area is kind of random, and you can grab sulfur.
There could be small bird eggs that have gone rotten, and
Eric.
Yes.
That box that you found, you're coming back to it, and you open the box. It's old, it's dusty. There's a little bit of mold on it. But when you open it, you see there's a bunch of old photographs, there's some drawings and some journals. As you kind of start to dig through some of the stuff, one thing in particular kind of jumps out at you, not literally, but you find a small painting. It's a stern-looking old man in what looks like maybe Puritan clothing.
Hey guys, have a look at this.
I don't know art. What would you say? 1700s, 1600s?
Oh, easily 1700s. But
is there a family resemblance there?
Yeah, now that you look at it closer, you and he kind of have the same nose.
Hey, look, check it out. He's got a ring on there.
Yeah, and he's reading Macbeth.
Oh, it had to be the Scottish play.
Out, damned Spot. That's what he said to his dog.
Eric, why don't you do another spot hidden for me?
Does anybody notice too that there are like spots on the wall behind this guy? Like,
Yeah, you're right.
blood splatters. That's interesting. Looks like he's got pretty long hair. Of course, it's probably a wig back then, huh?
Yeah, he's probably wearing a wig. But then again, a lot of guys wore their hair long back in the day underneath their wigs too. So.
Well, realize that people wore wigs because lice were everywhere.
Yeah.
Dr. Pennyworth, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm going to come back to you.
All right.
Did you do your spot hidden yet there, Eric?
Oh.
Are there any books on the shelf that look
missed
like
it.
that book? Or, sorry.
Yeah, I missed it by
Missed
quite a
it,
bit.
okay.
You know what? I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna push it.
There you go.
Odd 7.
There you go. Paid
Yeah.
off.
Yes.
You're looking at this painting and you flip it over and you see on the back it says Milton Blackwood.
Milton Blackwood.
And
I don't think Arthur mentioned him before. He's mentioned a lot of old relatives, but never Milton. Has mentioned Milton to you there?
Could I do an idea roll or something?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a pass.
Yeah, you recognize that name. It rings a bell. You believe that was Arthur's great grandfather?
So would he be the guy maybe that founded the place where we are just now?
That would be a very logical explanation or assumption.
It's possible.
And I'll tell you what, Eric, since you rolled so well on that push roll, there's something else too. In front of his name, it looks like there was something written there, and then it was erased or almost scratched off.
Interesting.
When you hold your flashlight up to it and you kind of get it at just the right angle in the light, it actually says wizard.
Wizard. Oh, this is weird. Wizard. I've heard
Yes.
Arthur talk about weird things, but never any kind of wizard. Sort of
I
thing.
don't
But then
think
again, he had
that's
talked
it.
about Milton here.
I don't think you're reading it. It's not Wizard.
Hey, have a
Probably
look. It says wizard right here.
Probably Wilbur or something like that.
No.
Sal, can you do a listen roll?
Show up. 12, yes.
Again, you hear something coming just off to the side from behind you now as everyone's looking at this painting. You spin your head around, you look, and you see just in time that trowel that I mentioned earlier is flying towards your head.
Okay. Dodge.
Yep.
Fail.
Wow.
Holy crap. Wank.
It nails
What
it
the
right
hell?
right on your cheek. And it does 2 points of damage.
Son of a fucking motherfucking. I probably wouldn't say that, but it's I'm bleeding probably.
Yes, you're definitely cut.
Oh.
What the fuck is going on down here? This place is full of traps.
Place is full of something.
Swinging our torches about. Is there anything else moving or any other noises?
No.
Say, folks, this seems to be targeting our private detective.
I need to go upstairs and get something on this, some water or something.
Yeah, let's go upstairs
Charles
and let's go upstairs and help him out and figure out a new plan of attack on this situation.
So I'm heading up the ladder.
Okay, Eric, I would like you to also, before you go upstairs, I want to mention some of the thing that I didn't get to yet. Along in that box with the painting, there's a small journal in there that's dated 1725.
There we go.
Got a journal here, guys. Why don't we go upstairs and have a look at the journal and take care of our detective friend here?
Dr. Pennyworth,
Mhm.
you were looking for the trap trigger in the floor, and you were brushing the stones away, the gravel and the shells. When you got down to the limestone floor, you do see what looks like a discoloration in the limestone floor. It's kind of dark. It's not blood though, but it's definitely like, not quite sure what it is.
When I did that, is that when the detective got hit with the?
Probably right around that same time.
So it was my fault that he got hit. I apologize, detective.
Whatever. It's this damn Jerry Geist or whatever you called it.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Right, Sal, you were headed upstairs. Eric, you just found this little journal. Do you still want to go upstairs, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's go upstairs where we can read it easier.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll head up there as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
So is there like a kitchenette or something in here?
Yes.
All right. The running water, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's probably a pump actually,
Oh, well, a pump. Jeez.
but at least it's still inside.
Why did I leave New York? New York City. So I pump the pump and get some water and wipe the blood off my face. And
Mhm.
holy crap, does this look like it's going to need stitches from the doctor?
Yeah, I think maybe. Doc, what do you think?
Oh, he's not a real doctor.
I can do a little bit of first aid.
Yeah, please. Maybe we can patch this thing up.
Yeah, I kind of prod at it a bit and it bleeds a bit more.
Son of a bitch, you fucking prod at it. Bandage it up. Well, if there's, I don't know, if there's an old rag that we can at least clean out or something, and
I got a
I'll bring
handkerchief. I'll give him a handkerchief.
Yeah.
There you go.
crap. How bad? You said 2 points, but is my cheek like split open or is it just scratched?
I mean, it's a nice cut. I mean, not to the point I don't think you'd have to be rushed to the hospital at all, but
Okay.
it's a nice cut. It's going to leave a mark.
All right. I mean, I'll get a nice scar to go on this lovely face of mine. Give me some character. All right. What the hell is going on?
Well, let's gonna start looking through the journal here.
It looks like there might have been some sort of pressure plate that you triggered.
I knew it was a freaking trap. Except didn't somebody pick up the trowel? I mean, we saw the trowel sitting there. It wasn't like spring-loaded trowel.
No, it was just kind of sitting there. It didn't look like there was anything under it that I could see.
I know what this is. He's got some sort of an electrical magnet because I've that Edison bloke a while back. I mean, he's been inventing all the things, telephones and all this shit.
That's possible.
You mean that hack?
We've used magnets in construction before, so yeah. In fact, I have some friends who are working with the idea of using a magnet to pull up junk out of lots and stuff. So that could be a possibility. There's maybe a magnet buried in the wall there. The walls are earthen.
Except,
bury it and.
Is there electricity here?
No, sorry.
You could bury a battery system in the wall there.
Well, whatever.
Flips off, turns on the electricity, and bam, you got an electromagnet.
Something is making metal things down there fly around. And you said you found some sort of a pressure plate under the floor.
Right.
It's a freaking trap. It's a trap.
But why would Arthur put some traps down there? I mean, especially elaborate ones involving magnets and
I realize that you guys are related to him and everything, but he was in the war, wasn't he? Maybe he's a little.
Yeah, I was in the war too.
A little nuts. A little shell shocked.
He was struck by lightning.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that goes with anything more than his experiences in the war.
You know, well, there's an idea. If this area is prone to lightning strikes, there could be a kind of magnetism in the.
That's a possibility.
The building.
Then again, I don't know much about the geology around here. And then again,
read the journal. Let's find out what's going on.
Yeah, let's have a look at this book here.
It's dated 1725, and it's written in a rather archaic Old English type style hand script. So
those are.
Anyone who wants to read this is going to have to make a successful language roll.
So those are S's and not F's.
No, I don't do very good with Shakespeare.
Me neither. Doc,
the author,
what do you take?
The author should be reading it.
Yeah,
he knows language.
I've got a great language score of 1%.
In English? And you're an author?
Oh no, hold on, that's other language.
That explains why you've never written a book.
I have written books. How dare you?
Just not in the language that somebody can understand.
I'll take a look at the book.
Sure.
Okay, 75%. No, there it is, 75%.
There you go. That's
so. I got 49.
Okay. You see this. It's shortened, but this is the gist of part of it. You want to read that out loud, please?
Sure. Lo, the bond is set, the accord sealed in blood. Wealth and good fortune shall forever flow through the Blackwood bloodline. The price is Christian blood that has been defiled through Sabbath rites. This is witchcraft, gentlemen.
This is something.
So you got a wizard.
This is something I know. This is something I know Arthur wasn't involved with.
A wizard, a genie, blood
rites.
Yeah, we got some sort of nasty black magic shit going on here.
And they're not just killing anybody; they're killing the Christian. It's definitely witchcraft. It's the black arts.
Well, I don't know about you, but I was baptized.
My church didn't really do any baptizing.
If it helps, GM, I did an occult roll, 03. If it just helps, have any gist.
Any particular question you want to ask, or you're just in general? You mean?
Well, just what kind of thing would this? Obviously, it's for prosperity. Yeah, it's for the wealth of the family. So would I know that this would need to be done again, or is it a one-off deal? You know, it was done many, many years ago, or would it need to be done again to keep the blessing on the family, if you like?
I'm not sure you would know that exactly, but I will tell you that if you go back to what I believe it was what Robert found, those series of articles in the scrapbook, those were dated all the way back to the 1800s, and they were all basically newspaper articles talking about the good luck and good fortune of the Blackwells.
Do you mean that it was saying like the fire that occurred in 1799, that the Blackwells were fortunate that they weren't burned? Okay. Yep. They didn't suffer from the influenza or the flood or the drought.
And Arthur survived the lightning bolt strike there.
Right.
And
it says something about a sacrifice of Christian blood. The question here is,
I'm definitely getting
author-
attacked.
Was the author a Christian? Was his wife a Christian? A good Christian? Do we know?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
think
would assume in the 1920s. that
We're all
people-
Yeah.
Christian. Yeah.
mhm.
But were they well known in a church? That's the
Yeah.
question.
I mean, they weren't like zealots or like fanatics, but yeah, they went to church on a regular basis.
Okay.
Well, I think that a good in all the spooky ghost stories and witch things that I've ever heard sitting around a campfire, that there's got to be some sort of, they have magic wands or brooms or whatever. The broom. We didn't check the broom, but I think that it all has to do with that ring. Arthur said that he dropped the ring in the basement. I was looking for it. I didn't see it. We saw the picture with that old man with the ring on his hand.
I think there's a reason you're a private detective. I think you're onto something.
Hmm.
Oh, for a second, I thought maybe you were trying to insult me because this is all batshit crazy. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, except that I've had nuts and bolts and trowels thrown at me.
If I didn't see what I saw, I wouldn't. A cult? This is all nuts. This is ludicrous. But I can't help but see what I saw.
I want to go back down there and look for that ring, but at the same time, I kind of want a shield.
Well, is there a trash can lid that we can, like a whatever steel trash can it is?
What would they have? 1920s.
There could be some trash cans there.
I'll just.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll say there's a serving plate. This nice silver serving plate.
Oh, silver is good. Silver is supposed to be a clean metal.
Well, I'm gonna put it behind my head. I mean, if something's coming at me from the front, I can see it and get out of the way. But if it's coming from behind,
All right, so what are you guys gonna do?
If we're gonna go back down there, I think we should be on our guards.
Yep.
If nothing else, guard our friend here. Make sure he doesn't get hit.
this is crazy. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Fine, let's go.
Unless you want to stay up here and keep an eye on things while we look down there some
Yeah,
more.
and then you'll all say I'm like a coward. Yeah, I ain't gonna do that. Sorry.
I didn't say that, man.
No, you implied it, so I'm going down. I'll go down first. God damn it!
All right.
All right, Ghost. I'm coming down there. Don't throw anything at me.
Can someone remind me what was the thing with the ring? What did Arthur do with the ring?
He said he lost it down in the cellar.
So he lost it down there. Okay, I think we need to get it.
All
Fortunately,
right.
It could be
Yeah.
buried in all that gravel.
True.
Or fall in one of the boxes and stuff.
Could be anywhere down there, but
Exactly. Especially if the floor got replaced.
All right, so everybody's going back down. Sal, what are you gonna do first?
oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Sal. Answer him, Sal.
Sal's deep in thought. What is he gonna do first?
Well, first thing is I'm walking around, with that serving plate like this.
Jammed in your jacket, yeah.
I've got my flashlight and I'm looking around to see if I see anything glinting in the light on the floor or glancing at a box. And
I'm doing a thorough search myself, not just with the floor, but anywhere where the ring could have flown off to, like on a shelf or in the superstructure there.
Mhm.
I'll take care of the floor. I'll take care of kind of the midsection and there.
Okay.
and all the while I'm saying, this is nuts. This is just ridiculous.
Jeffrey,
Beyond me.
anything particular you're searching for, Jeffrey?
Well, before I go down, I just take a few notes in my notebook. An idea for a new novel about the comedy detective. who gets things thrown at him on a regular basis, and he walks about with plates behind his head. It's a great plot. I want to check. I want to check out the scrapbook and stuff again.
Okay. And
See if there's anything in those kind of boxes or books that might give us a bit of info. Meanwhile, I'm going to do the same. Flash the light about in case there's anything glinting
okay.
in the darkness.
And Robert, how about you?
I was going to, because nobody really checked the shelves thoroughly, but I want to go through the shelving area and see if there's anything of note.
Okay.
I'm almost doing this thing where I take a step and then I hesitate to see if I've hit a pressure plate, and I look around, take another step.
All right, let's start with Jeffrey. You said you're going to look in that box again?
Sure.
Do another spot hidden, please.
That's a pass.
Okay. Robert and Eric, you can also do spot hiddens while I go through this setup here.
I got a 49 out of 50. So
19. I made it.
Jeffrey, you notice as you glance on that shelf and you look in that box again that Eric was looking at previously, you see at the bottom of the box there's a little torn piece of paper.
I'll check it out. Okay. I say, I shout to the guys and tell them, "Hey, listen! I found another strange parchment here. It says, unto the very ground I have bound the daemon to the Blackwood bloodline. As long as a true Blackwood kin wears the ring, the creature will remain trapped, and its gift of good fortune will remain untainted. Let this ring never leave your finger. Let it pass from ear to ear on the deathbed. Never let the creature out, for its hate is unbound, and it desires to see the extinction of the Blackwood name." We
Robert,
need to get that ring and put it on my finger.
Robert, can you do a listen roll?
$61, so that is a fail. I'm about to get hit in the head with something.
As you bent over to look on one of those shelves, remember that dagger that you guys found earlier?
Shit.
That dagger flew off the shelf behind you and stabs you in your right thigh.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Oh, crap.
Did 3 points damage.
Guys, we need to get this ring really, really quickly.
Right.
And again,
So
that smell is very strong at this point.
why is the thing not attacking you? And I'm not a Blackwood.
I don't know. I immediately go for the saber, so it's not going to get launched at anybody. Get a hold of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll get a hold of anything. Yes, sharp things too.
Just start gathering up all the...
Oh, I've just had a thought. There was gloves lying about. If he had a ring on and had the gloves on, I go and check the gloves in case there's a ring inside any of the gloves.
There you go.
Okay. You look and you don't see anything.
Okay. Now I'm being very urgent. I am starting at one end and going very carefully in between the boxes, looking down into the boxes for anything that may have fallen in. Looking.
Jeffrey, why don't you attend to the doctor here, so he doesn't bleed out on us.
I'll try my best.
Yeah,
We'll keep an eye. We'll be looking over here. I'm going into quick search mode, looking a little bit more frantically, see if I can find some, the ring.
Eric,
possible.
Can you do a listen roll for me?
Oh.
Yes, sir. Did not make it. 35 from my 20.
That baseball bat that was leaning up in the corner there, that comes flying out of nowhere and cracks you in the back of the head.
Oh,
3 points of damage. Do a Constitution roll for me, please.
Nope. Got a 70 off my con of 55. I'm probably not cold.
It smacks you. Your vision kind of starts to blur. You kind of get that tunnel vision, a little bit of stars kind of dancing around, and you go down on a knee at least.
I try to grab him to keep him from falling down completely.
Okay. Do a dex roll.
33. That is a pass.
Okay. You grab him in time and support him so he doesn't completely fall over.
All right.
Whoa, thank you.
It's like this is getting almost beyond us, guys. But according to that last thing that you read, if we don't find that ring, all the Blackwoods will be doomed. Because there's obviously something down there.
Yeah. As I'm attending to the doctor, I think it was the doctor that found the stain or the mark in the floor. Try to see if there's anything going on there. Is it solid ground?
First of all, did you apply first aid to him?
Yeah, it was a fail.
You were hoping I forgot, didn't you?
Don't pull the knife out. You leave the knife.
Don't pull it out.
I'm like that.
Does it hurt when I do this?
It's like a fish hook. You just push it all the way through.
Yeah. So doctor, your leg is hurting pretty bad. It didn't go.
I'll take off my belt and tie it around the wound.
Okay. Not like tourniquet style. You're just trying to put pressure on it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have first aid other than base?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you try to pat yourself up, because you have medicine, I believe.
Yeah. And nope.
No. Okay.
Didn't work.
Tighten that belt just a little bit too tight. Okay. Yeah. So you start to push the shells and the gravel away where Dr. Robert was digging earlier. And there seems to be like it wasn't just a splotch or anything on the floor. There seems to be like a hard line to it.
It's a mark.
All right. Like a groove in the ground?
Not necessarily a groove, but almost like it was
painted
drawn
on.
Painted.
Yeah.
It's a witch mark. See if we can dig it up.
No, we don't have time. We got to find that. Ow. Got to find that ring.
Well, it might be in the gravel.
Yeah.
Is that a good idea? I don't know. I take the saber and I just try and clear a path from the gravel away to see if it forms any kind of shape.
Okay. You all can do an idea roll.
12, yes.
That's okay. 12. I'll just tell you.
I made it.
Yeah, as you're kind of trying to scooch the gravel away with a sharp, pointy saber, you realize there's a shovel sitting against the wall right next to you. Along with a hoe, and there was even a trowel at one point.
What's she doing down here? Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let's uncover whatever the hell that is.
Yeah. Okay.
So I grab the hoe.
I bet you do.
Somebody can grab the rake.
I'll get the rake.
And the shovel.
And I'll get the plow.
Yeah, so you guys start digging away. There's a little bit of urgency now because things are kind of picking up on you.
We're also keeping an eye out for that ring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're pushing the gravel aside. You're digging through it, and the more you look at this markings on the limestone floor, it seems to be almost taking up that whole, like at the center, the cross section of the L.
Mm-hmm.
There's a circle. It's about maybe 5 feet in diameter.
This is witchcraft, boys.
Obviously.
When you clear enough gravel away, you look, And the first thing you notice is that it's definitely some sort of symbol, some arcane occult type symbol. I need
Any
you
luck with
all
the
to
ring?
do a sanity roll, please.
Okay.
Because as you're looking at it, it's
Nope,
wavering.
failed.
Made it.
It's wavering on the ground, so it's like moving.
I failed.
Failed.
I failed.
Made it.
So just take 1 for a pass and a 1d4 for a.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh,
No.
another got another 4.
That's not
Moving?
so bad.
I got a 4.
I've had worse. And I got a 3.
What the hell?
I have lost 20%
Okay.
of my.
So this is obviously freaking you out. As you pretty much get to the point where you've now uncovered most of the sigil, why don't you all do a luck roll?
Yes, because I didn't spend any of my luck.
I got a 97.
Effing kidding me.
Yeah, 34.
I
not
got a
very
55.
unlucky.
I got a 55 out of 50. Maybe I should have re-rolled my my luck.
Sal,
Uh-huh.
you actually got the worst luck, I think.
Yeah. I should have
As-
stayed in ballet school.
As the three of them are kind of clearing that rubble away and they uncovered that sigil, you're staring at it and all, and you have a sudden, the hairs on the back of your neck, not from the silver plate, but the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and you have a strong sense that there's something behind you.
Okay, I'm going to wheel around really quickly.
As you do, your flashlight, the beam of the flashlight, spins around. And as everybody's down there, they've all got their flashlights. The lights are moving about, and it's creating a weird shadow pattern of all the junk and stuff and in that process, you see what looks like, it's a little hard to describe, but it looks like a shadow mixed or melded with smoke. And it's forming in front of you as a large black smoke moving object thing.
Okay. That's probably going to elicit a sanity roll and a big scream.
Yes.
As I jump back away from it. No, I did not pass the sanity.
Okay.
What do I roll?
Uh, 1d8.
Yeah. Where's my 8-sided dice?
And as he screams, the rest of you turn around and you see it too.
Oh, here's my 8-sided
Oh my
dice.
God.
So you all can do sanity.
I got a 6. So at this point, I scream, I fall backwards, and I'm out of control. What do you want me to do?
Do an intelligence roll first. Let's see if you're actually comprehending it all.
If we failed it, what do we roll? 1d4?
Yes.
Fail is a 1d8.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I
What about-
comprehended it.
So that's another 4. So that's
I passed.
7 altogether.
Passed a 1d3. You got a 7, Wayne?
Yeah, I mean, no, I got a 4 on this. It was 7 altogether.
Oh, altogether? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you're all shaken up at this point. I mean, this is like, what the hell?
Oh
is
yeah,
that? Yeah. Sal, you in particular are frozen in your footsteps. You don't know what to do. You're just
Screaming.
This thing's right in front of you, and it reaches out with some sort of a, dare I say, tentacle-like appendage, and it grabs your left arm, and you're going to take 1 point of damage. But when it grabs it, it's crushing. It's the strength on this thing is incredible.
So at this point, I'm just, ah! But I'm frozen. I'm not trying to get away or anything. I'm just stuck.
What would the rest of you like to do?
This thing seems to be made up of like smoke.
And you did hear I lost 6 sanity all at once. Okay.
I lost 7 at once there too, so I'm kind of just like, yeah.
Okay.
When I rolled my sanity, I had a lot of presence of mind. I just got a 0-2, and I'm beginning to think that as a family member, maybe I could do something about this. And I kind of charge towards it with the saber and swing the saber at the shadow.
Sure.
The smoke. And I shout at the top of my voice, "Get back in the name of the family name, Clarke.
Blackwood.
In the name of the Blackwood family." And I swing the sword.
Okay. Do I
I
brawl?
have no idea if I can.
I guess we can't stop you in the middle of that.
Not
You got a
even-
freaking sword.
I don't have any skills in swords. I've got an arm, but I rolled a 45, so I don't know what that is.
whatever your brawl skill is. You have
Okay.
brawl? Fighting brawl?
Yeah, 40, just 45, so it was just over.
Okay. So in the darkness and in the cramped quarters, you come close, but you don't actually connect.
Is it responding to my shouting the Blackwood name and
No.
nothing?
Nope.
Plan B, we need to get the ring.
I'm taking a big breath.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you want to do?
Yes. Trying to snap out of it. I'm just like, ring,
Okay.
ring, ring.
Yeah, that's good thinking. Do you want to? You could try to attack it and possibly freeze out, or you could search for the ring and possibly.
Going to search for the ring. Going to break out of this whole freeze I'm in and just go for looking for the ring frantically.
All right, I'm going to come back to you, Robert. What would you like to do?
Well, while he's looking for the ring, I will try to separate Sal from this beast.
Okay.
I guess I'm going to just try to charge at it and see if I can sort of slam into it and dissipate it a bit. If I can dissipate it, maybe it will let Sal go for a moment. So that's what I'm going to try to do.
Let me clarify just a little bit. The smoke and the shadow has formed into almost what looks like a physical object thing.
So
It's
it
just-
looks solid now. It's not
Exactly.
like it's,
Right.
Okay,
So there's still smoke and shadow around it, but it looks like a physical thing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to try to, not that big though. But anyway, I will try to like tackle it. I'm still going to try to like knock him off of Sal.
Okay. The thing's big though. Are you trying to like grapple it? Or are you trying to you're trying to knock it away? Is that?
Yeah, I guess I can't do that. I mean,
You're gonna try to barrel into it. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
All right. Do a brawl.
Like basically barrel into like its midsection. It's like abdomen area. Let me see. What's my brawl skill? I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I think I might die here, fellas. No. I got a 99.
Oh my.
Oh. So he barrels into me.
So you kind of duck your head. You start to ram head first, putting your shoulder, all your weight behind this thing. And because you ducked your head, you weren't exactly watching where you were going. So this thing just kind of like easily sidesteps just a few inches away, and you brush right past it and knock yourself into the wall behind it.
Oh man, this demon is a jerk. No, it's not like he's gonna like lift us up and tear us apart and burn us and everything.
That's
like that.
next.
He's doing like practical joke type stuff. He's throwing stuff at people when their backs are turned. You know.
At 99, does he damage himself when he slams into the wall, head down?
Man,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything, but since you're going to force
Yeah,
me,
thanks, Tom.
Oh man.
Yeah, okay, Tom.
why don't you take a
I'll remember that next time I'm supposed to try to save your life.
Hey, I'm about to be possessed by Satan, so
why don't you take a point of damage?
Okay.
Sal, why don't you roll a power roll? That's you, Tom.
Oh.
See if you can snap yourself out of this.
I got a 72 out of 50. I really didn't make it.
And with that,
I'm crumpling.
another appendage comes out of this mass of darkness. You can see that on the ends and on not even to any logical reason, but on various spots on this appendage, there are mouths. It's a mouth with all these sharp needle-like teeth.
Okay.
It comes out and it wraps around your other arm now.
Okay. All right. Once again, my sanity's shattered. So, do I do another sanity roll?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you need to.
All right. I'm crumpling. I'm probably just crumpling to the ground at this point.
All right. Let's see. Eric, why don't you do a spot hidden for me?
Nope.
Okay.
But given the circumstances, I'm going to go ahead and push it.
Ah, okay. Let's see. Give me a second. Don't before you roll. Because usually if you fail a push roll, something bad happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will tell you that if you fail, you may possibly risk physical damage.
That's fine.
Okay.
Ought to.
Oh my gosh. I'm sitting here in my head, I'm thinking, all right, how easy should I make it for them to find this ring? I'm like, he's got to get an extreme.
For now.
Two. On a pushed roll at that. Yeah, as you are searching frantically, you're digging through the gravel. You're cutting your hands up as you're digging because the clamshells are sharp.
Oh yeah.
You're pushing the stuff away, the debris away, and all of a
I'd say at
sudden,
least get a point of damage on that because of all the clamshells on my fingers and stuff.
Yep. You in that glimpse of your flashlight, it catches something shiny, and you see something glinting in the light, buried in the sand, in the clamshells.
Going for it, grabbing it.
Okay. I'm going to let Jeffrey and also Robert do another action if they want.
Well, after my failed attempt with the saber, I'm seeing the state of our private detective, I realise the physical attack is a waste of time, and my instinct was to rush back and look with Eric.
Okay.
And I see he's kind of seems to. Yeah, I'm going over towards him because he seems to be finding, something's happening there.
I think I got something.
Robert, how about you?
I'm just coming out of me rushing head first into the wall, so I'm kind of dazed, and I look up. Yeah, so no actions for me.
No action. Okay. Sal, do you want to do another power roll?
Oh. Normally I think about what my name is going to be for quite some time. This time I passed 23.
Okay. So you have snapped yourself out of it, but you are
I'm still being
grappled
held.
now. Both your arms are being held right now.
And the little mouths are giving me little monster kisses.
Bitten into your arm, and they're just increasing the grip that this thing has on you.
What the fuck?
There's another appendage coming out, and it's heading towards your left leg. Do you want to do anything?
keep my left leg away from it. As ridiculous as that sounds. I suppose that's got to be what I'm trying to do.
Do a dodge roll.
I got a 29.
Nice.
Which, yeah.
So this thing comes slithering out at you, and you lift your leg at the last second, and it's blindly waving about, and frantically looking and searching for your leg. All right.
So
Eric and Jeffrey, you both see this ring now sitting in the gravel. What do you want to do?
I'm like, let's get this ring on my finger.
Get it,
No.
get it.
All right, I'm going to be mean. I'm going to make you do a dex roll.
Okay.
Your nerves are shot. There's chaos all around you. It's dark.
it's trying to get my nuts.
You wouldn't believe this. I jump over and put the ring on like this. 0-1. 0-1.
Yeah.
The ring flies up in the air, and in slow motion, you hold your hand out to catch it, and it lands on your finger.
Did I go invisible? Did I go invisible or not?
No.
I shout, as the ring goes on my finger, I shout, "My precious, my precious."
Yeah, but at the moment that ring lands on your finger and you get it, you put it on your finger, the creature lets out a blood-curdling, not a scream, not a growl, just a noise that you've never heard before.
Ah!
It screams, and it gets pulled to the center of that sigil that was on the floor.
Do I get dragged along with it, or does it?
At the moment, right now, you're dragged along with it. Yes.
It's trying to take me with it.
I just shout out, in the name of the Blackwood family, let him go, or something like that. You know, just trying to somehow get the creature to release Sal.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm at this point snapped out of my dazedness. I'm going to try to launch myself towards Sal and grab his hand to try to pull him back.
You can probably grab my feet.
Or
Have a
your
tug of war.
feet, yeah.
I'm just kind of sitting on the floor there, just catching my breath up with all this going on.
Give me a second. I want to look at something real quick. Okay. Could everybody do a luck roll for me, please?
Pass 20.
Pass.
Pass 16.
I got 100.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
So the three of you that passed, you are on the basement was in that L shape, remember?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The sigil is at the corner of the L.
Right.
So the three of you that passed your luck roll are on this side, the short side, where the ladder is.
Okay.
Jeffrey, you're on the long side. So you're going to have to somehow get around this thing, dive, run, somehow get past it. But right now it's still got two tentacles on Sal, and the third one is still whipping around.
I'm probably laying on my stomach now because it's dragged me this way.
It's holding you. It's holding you in the air almost. You're getting lifted off your feet from time to time. A fourth one comes out and goes towards your right leg.
It's trying to get my nuts.
What do you want to do?
I'm doing like a little ballet dance, trying to keep the thing away from getting a hold of me.
Okay. Do a dodge roll.
05.
Nice.
So those ballet classes paid off.
Yep.
But it looks ridiculous, probably.
It looks ridiculous, but it worked. The thing missed your leg, and again, it lets out a blood-curdling scream, and the first one that grabbed on your left arm, it lets go.
It's not just the one that's got teeth buried in my arm.
Oh, they both had the teeth. Sorry.
Oh. Okay, well, now that I've got that, I am going to pull my freaking gun out and point it right down at the thing and just start firing.
Okay. You're going to unload everything, or?
Pretty much.
All right. Why don't you do 2 rolls? I don't want to draw that out too long. Just do two firearms.
Yes, first one's a pass.
Okay.
58 out of 60. And the second one is a 100.
That's the only reason I had you roll, was just to see if you had a malfunction.
So bang, click, 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 click.
We'll say you get 3 shots off.
Okay.
Roll damage for 3 shots.
Let's see. We are right in front of it, so 1d10. So 3 1d10s.
Yeah.
6 points, 1 point, 1 point. Wow. 8 points total out of a potential 30.
It was enough to get it to release the other tentacle.
Okay.
So at the moment, you are free.
All right. I'm going straight to the ladder and up the fucking ladder. Although I can't. My arm's really achy. So I'm at the ladder.
Jeffrey, you have a split second to decide how you want to try to get past this thing. Oh, sorry, you're muted still.
I've still got the saber, so I'm going to try and stay outside the circle. I don't want to go over that circle.
Okay.
And as I'm kind of rushing by, I'm just swinging the saber in case any tentacles slash out.
All right. Do a brawl. I'll tell you. You can decide. Do a brawl or a dex, whatever's your higher skill.
I'll do a dex that's a little bit higher.
Okay.
25, easy success.
Nice. Yeah. So this thing makes one last attempt to grab your leg as you're going by, and it misses you.
Cool.
You guys are all basically huddled around the bottom of the ladder at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you look back and you see this thing start to slowly dematerialize, vaporize in what sounds like another horrendous scream type yell.
Ow!
And as it's visually disappearing, the sound also is fading away. And in a moment's time, it's incredibly quiet and silent down here.
Until I yell, "Fuck you, Jeffrey, and your whole fucking family."
And that's actually it. I mean, we can go through some of the cleanup if you want.
Sure.
That was good.
Well, I'm going to be institutionalized for at least a couple of months.
I believe there was some heavy sanity loss around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You probably suffered at least 2 points from each of those attacks to your arms, Tom. So that was probably another 4 points physical damage.
I would have been anemic by this point. So, lightheaded and of course the doctors are asking me, "How did you get these wounds?" I'm like, "A fucking snake monster from hell came out of the ground and attacked me." And they're like, "Yeah, put him in the what's the place in New York?"
Well, at some point, we're going to have to come up with some kind of something to tell them and figure out how to get Arthur off.
That's an excellent point, because in the excitement of all that, I forgot something. So just as you're headed up the stairs, up that ladder, you look behind you, and in the pile of gravel that you had shoveled aside to uncover the sigil, you see a skull. It's mostly there. There's parts missing. but there are also bits of flesh hanging off of it. So based off of a simple medicine roll, you know that would be Rosemary's skull. And the thing of it is that when you grab it on your way out, once you get back up into the parlor area and the lid slams closed, you're looking closely at the skull, and you can see there's teeth marks from that tentacle type thing that grabbed him. But the thing is that those teeth marks make it look as though she was killed by a wild animal. They're clearly not. They're not knife cuts. They're not axe cuts. It's an animal that killed her.
Okay. Well, I say, gentlemen, we need to clear. Is it Arthur's name?
Yes.
We need to clear his name. Let's put the skull out into the woods, and we'll say we found the skull.
Well, let's take it with us
'Cause
and
we
let's
know
say
he
we
didn't
found
kill
it in the woods.
Yeah.
Well,
We
Say
know
a
he-
bear got at it.
Well, no, because if
Yeah.
we were to do that, then that's removing evidence off the scene. Might not be a good thing, right, right, Detective?
I don't care what the fuck you do. I hope that
All right.
The
Yeah, I
Blackwood
think you got a point there. Why don't we go ahead and set something up and just say that we found the skull? You know, telephone it in, call the cops in, say, hey, look at what we found.
Yeah.
And
I think probably thinking back on it, the police had already seen and photographed all the blood in the basement. So somehow you could probably come up with a story that somehow an animal got down in the basement with her and maybe it panicked or something and couldn't get out, and so it attacked her.
well, easily a black bear. They're all over the place around here in this part of the country.
there's all sorts of problems with the story, of course.
Yes.
He's probably going to end up in prison.
Yeah.
Because it could simply be that he murdered his wife and then a wild animal ate her body. But in any case, there's enough doubt that
Well, and with what we had here, we can concoct a story that we got attacked by some unknown assailants, but we drove them off, and that would at least put a shadow of the doubt even further that maybe we could get Arthur a reduced prison sentence, if not off the hook in the fact that there was somebody here trying to screw around. We found evidence of tampering here after the police had left. We got attacked. And then we found the skull in the woods.
We certainly have evidence that we were attacked.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't get a good look in there. They came in and out, threw stuff at us, stabbed one of us, cut cheeks, and something was going on there.
We could say there was
confusion.
A vagrant that was hiding in the basement.
I think there were a couple of them actually,
a
couple unknown assailants, but they were out to get us.
In any case, cool.
Yeah.
All right, shall we end it there?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, our players included Ken Trench, Wayne Worthy, Ford Fitch, and myself, with Jeff Wilkins as the Keeper of the Secrets. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. Patrons of our show can now enjoy recordings of our pre- and post-game conversations when we first publish them. Some of the funniest and most interesting stuff occurs before and after the show. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month will help us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We love hearing from you. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.